Welcome to the Business at the Speed of Sell podcast, where you learn how to accelerate the growth of your online and offline businesses, profits, and personal income. Tune in daily to get the tips, tricks, and tactics that have generated over $100 million in online and offline sales. Now, here's your host, Anthony Flatt.
This is Anthony Flatt, and you're listening to the Business at the Speed of Sell podcast. Today, we're going to talk about time bandits and how you utilize your time. I think this is pretty underestimated by most of us, just how much of our time goes to things that we should probably not be doing or things that we could have not done. And it robs our time from doing the important stuff. It robs our time from getting our priorities completed. And I'll just give a little example. I do a lot of volunteer work, and I receive over 100 emails a day. And in a lot of those emails are requests. Anthony, can you create an email on this? Anthony, can you tell me how we're going to do this? Anthony, we've got this problem. Can you help us solve this problem? And I get dozens of those requests a day. And I kind of started and made that problem for myself because back many years ago, I kind of was always Johnny on the spot. I was the answer man. Whatever you needed, just give me a call. I'll take care of it for you. And I got to the point where over the years, I've made it really easy for people to just call me up, send me an email, and I would pick up the phone or I would respond right away and I would fix their problem. So people got basically trained that whenever they had an issue or problem, rather than trying to solve it themselves, their first course of action is to pick up the phone and call me. And, maybe that's good for your ego, but it is not good for your business because you spend all of your time on the phone and you spend all of your time responding to email. And a good majority of those are not productive. They're not the things that you need to be doing. So over the last couple years, and this has been difficult for me because I don't like not being responsive. I don't like not helping people when they need me. But I've really started to push back. And when emails come in, if I don't absolutely have to respond to it right then and there, I don't. If a voicemail comes in, I don't necessarily respond to it. And for the most part, I let all cell phone calls go to voicemail, even if I could have picked it up right then there that second, but because I don't want to interrupt what it is I'm doing to then take that call. And the reason is it takes me quite a bit of time to get back on track, to get focused back on what I was doing. My son has been diagnosed with ADD and he takes ADD meds. I'm convinced now, having lived with that and gone through the process with the doctors of identifying that I certainly have that as well. I get up very early in the morning. I work very early in the morning. By midday, I'm scattered brain. I don't get as much done in the middle of the day. Because there's distractions, because the kids are coming home from school, there's other things to do. If I'm out traveling for business, people are going to lunch and then we're coming back and then there's phone calls and there's emails. And so I don't get as much done. So the combination of people wanting a lot of my time and me not being as focused as I could be, especially during the afternoon hours, it makes it just impossible for me to get a lot of things done. And so the only way I've been able to handle that is to just set the priority that I don't take direct phone calls. If I've got an emergency that I'm working on and somebody calls me back, then obviously I'm gonna take that call. But if a coworker calls me, even if a customer calls me, a business partner calls me, I'm gonna let it go to voicemail. And then I'm gonna wait until I have a time where I can answer several of those voicemails at the same time. And then I'll go through those and respond to those. Now, texting is just as bad, if not worse, because usually the string of events is somebody will call me, get a voicemail, then they'll send me a text, and then they'll send me an email, and I'll end up with 3 communications instead of 1. But even with getting 3, if I don't get distracted and pulled off what I'm working on at that point in time, it is easier for me to finish that and then get back to these people later. 90+% of the time, whatever it is that person wants is not something that needs to be done right that second. It is something that can wait a half an hour or an hour or half a day and for you to get back to them. So I know it's probably not proper phone etiquette or email etiquette to not be uber responsive, but you're not going to get done what you need to get done if you keep your email open all day long. Close your email. Don't leave it open. Don't get instant notifications. Don't have it right there on your desktop, and focus on getting the work done that you need to get done, and start prioritizing how you get back to people. It's okay if you make a bunch of phone calls at the end of the day, especially if it's like me, that's your least productive part of the day, just to call all those people back and see what it is they needed. And if they need you to do something and it's real and you're going to do it, then you can schedule that for a productive part of your day and then get it done with a group of other things that you're working on. So really protect your time. There's time bandits out there all over the place. Rather than fixing the problems themselves, instead of spending 2 or 3 minutes fixing the problem themselves, they'll spend 10 minutes trying to get a hold of you to get you to fix it for them. Just know that you're not going to be able to get done the things that you want to if you continue to be Johnny on the spot, continue to answer emails immediately, continue to watch and read your emails as they're coming in, and same with your text and your phone. Turn your phone off, turn your text off, set it somewhere where you can't look at it. Trust me, those people are going to be fine. The world is not going to come to an end if you go an hour without looking at your email, your voicemail, your text, or your telephone.
If you have a question for Anthony, then head over to www.anthonyflatt.com and leave him a voicemail message for a chance to have your question featured on the show. Thanks for listening to the Business at the Speed of Sell podcast at www.businessatthespeedofsell.com.